It just went live. YouTube is getting really, really bad with being super inconsistent on that. Sometimes I'll create the stream and then I'll have to go live manually, other times I won't. And I have no idea the level of incompetence necessary to be able to produce that effect. I'm recording on my phone today. My notes for this log last time and time before. Oh, enunciate. Use Facebook. Next split Facebook. Health tips. Oh yeah, I was making some health tips on Facebook for the next split. Ideas for the next split. What was the next split going to be? It was going to be something important. It'll come to me. Production log. The next thing I'm going to produce. It probably should go to artwork and that sort of thing. Oh, there's no time like the present to get into the spiel. Actually, you know what? I had an idea, and that's to script a little bit better. So I'm going to go through my script and then write some more scripting. As our ancestors combated against the complexity of the universe around them, they developed strategies to survive, compete, and thrive in it. As different groups competed, the best strategies, stored as wisdom in the most salient stories, outcompeted the alternatives. The best set of strategies. The best wisdom has been naturally selected for. Okay, let's do my recording. Goal is to keep it at 5 minutes, so mark, I will speak, mark, time, mark, so at 3 minutes, and now, as our ancestors combated against the okay, ramble. Take 2. 3:15. 14. As our ancestors combated against the complexity of the universe around them, they developed strategies to survive, compete, and thrive in it. As different groups competed, the best strategies, stored as wisdom in the most salient stories, outcompeted the alternatives. The best wisdom has already been naturally selected for. We had ancient civilizations who, at the time, the best sets of strategies were simple star navigation and stories of wisdom. And stories of wisdom for the seasons and locations that the stars had guided them to those places. There was a correlative factor. For more complex societies, more permanent societies, they had, for tribal societies even, they had spiritualism and a more comprehensive polytheistic view of things with many different spirits. They started to look at the way other organisms lived, the bear spirit, and attach wisdom to that, and the wisdom, and learn from around them deeper abstract knowledge than the simple knowledge of the simple facts. Then after that, there was more complex civilizations, early towns, and the early cults of Egypt, which had sets of strategies that were many of them were for the benefit of those who ran the group, and many of them were simply for the benefit of, how do I put it? And many of them had parts of strategies, but they also had bad strategies mixed in them. Strategies that were good, but not long-term competitive. An obvious one is the deity of Egypt of Bast, the deity of the home. And why was Bass outcompeted because we know there's value in the home. But if you throw all your eggs in one basket, to use more modern folklore tradition, and folklore is more of a evolving organism and fluid than written traditions, but it still has a serious value. So with Bass worship, you have all your eggs in one basket. If you worship your home, then why would you leave when you're being attacked and flee even when you're definitely going to lose the fight? You're going to die and be outcompeted, or you're going to be easy to find to be extorted by bandits and the sort of ilk that take advantage of people permanently staying somewhere. There's a whole knockoff of other negative side effects, but there is some technical value, and I would call it, in the more complex Roman civilization, Mercury worship, the value of the economic value of having a permanent address. You learn it, you know it, you get good at the local community, and there's a value to that, but it was outcompeted by more successful sets of strategies. And the reason we don't communicate the technical strategy of, yes, get a home, stay there, the value goes up, sell it for more, build it up, all that, is because humans are very social animals. We're not technically minded animals. Our brains don't work on we have not evolved to just input data and re-put that out. That doesn't, for one, it doesn't make us fluid and adaptable, and it isn't cohesive to abstract thinking and trying to find other value in our understandings of the universe. So we have evolved to use stories, and mnemonic aids are an excellent example of a form of story that we use to save information for each other or ourselves. YouTube's just crapping on me. Sorry. I lost 15 seconds. I'll go 15 seconds over. So, and the more complex strategies, the same thing happened. More complex civilizations, they had different deities. The Romans would go around and say, oh, that's your god. Actually, we have the same god. When you translate that to Latin, we call that god this god. One of the famous ones is a Gallic deity, and they called they just told them it was Mercury, and it was so similar to Mercury, probably because of similar ancestry and the wisdom. And the set of strategies that led to maximum individual and group success. The golden rule is game theory. We've discovered game theory in the last 100 years. There's no question as to the value of game theory. I would suggest that it is so valuable it expressed itself in our ancient wisdom stored as stories in the golden rule. One of those is you would have done unto yourself. Game theory is essentially broken down to, you want to make the decision that is best for you and those around you. So if you're making a deal, you don't want to do something that's good for those around you at the cost of self, or good for the self at the cost of those around you. If everyone's looking out for you and you're looking out for everyone, then you consider that from the individualist perspective. The number of people looking out for you is immense. But if everyone's looking out for themselves and you're looking out for yourself, the number of people looking out for you is one. That gets to the value. So, to round off, it's just natural selection has played its role on all ancient wisdom, and the most valuable wisdom, and of course the Greek philosophy that is very popular is good, maybe among philosophers, but the most valuable wisdom and stories and strategies to follow has been discovered, and we should follow them. There might be more as a law of entropy, the world will get more complex, and there might be more wisdom and strategies, but it's like you need to start with the base, and you start with the base that the other complexity is all built on the same base. It's getting more complex, so there might be more nuance, more strategies, but the base strategies are still the same, so you cannot go wrong by following them. Right. Mark, I went over time. I've got a minute, up to 2 minutes more. So, what should my next split be? I'm considering I just split my other stream to a programming stream. I'm considering splitting this stream into, it's a production log, so I want to produce, so maybe I might have to get into other stuff more and find out how well I'm going to be editing it in the editing stream in order to find out whether or not I need more time here or there or whatnot. Artwork, producing work. I might start doing Andrew Lewis's figure drawing as a series. I also want to do now the etiquette book I've been reading on my other stream as a YouTube series with the artwork side of it. So that's what I'm thinking. So the next one would be this first one would be, of course, well, we'll see this timing of release and whatnot. There's other ideas I have philosophy that will definitely fit in. I'm feeling the need to get this out as a base and to start branching off and setting the seeds elsewhere for other things. Now's the time where I find out if this recording worked finally. So we'll end the stream in 20 seconds. I think adding a minute, 30 seconds up till 10, minute up till, because I'm feeling success in that. Like, it seems to be working for me. Anyway, talk to you tomorrow. Or tomorrow's Sunday, the day after.